All right, this is what it says. A few days later, when Jesus again entered the town, the people heard that he had come. So many gathered. It was a sold-out show. Sold-out show. There was no room left, not even outside the door. And he preached the word to them. So men came, bringing to him a guy who was paralyzed. And he was carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus. And after digging through it, they lowered the mat the man was paralyzed and laying on. And when Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Son, your sins are forgiven." So there's this sold-out Jesus show, and they got to figure out, what are we going to do? Most people would turn back. Most people would say it's hopeless. But for whatever reason, there was a drive that this guy wanted to be with Jesus so bad that they're like, let's destroy the place. Let's cut a hole in the roof. Let's lower him down. I don't know whose idea it was. I'm guessing that the 4 guys probably talked him into it. Because he's the guy like on the mat. Could you imagine I'm sitting here and then all of a sudden there's some guy coming down through the ceiling? Like he would be a spectacle. I would be so embarrassed if I were him in that. Now actually I think it'd be pretty cool. You know, you're coming down on this mat and you're like, I have arrived. You know, you're coming down. So anyway, I don't know who talked him into it, but all I know is they wanted to be there so badly that they were willing to do whatever they could. In high school, I found out that you can sneak into the roofs of classrooms. You know, like it doesn't look like this, but they're those ones that you can throw the pencils in and they stick in them, you know? And I always thought it would just collapse. But I found out that there's this back room by my art room, and I found out if you climb up on the shelf, there's actually like supporting beams. So as long as you stay on the supporting beams, you're good. So one day I climbed up there, and I was like cruising around up top, and the panel right above my teacher was out, and I dropped my head down, and was like, hey, you know, the whole time. And she had no idea, everybody's laughing, she's got no idea what's going on, you know. I don't know why I say that, I guess because it's kind of like the guy coming up through the roof, that's it. I just wanted to tell you about that. But anyway, I tell you all of this. Because I wonder how many people today want to be that close to Jesus that they'd be willing to go through those measures. Now, I'm not saying that the church is the only place where Jesus is, but I can tell you that Jesus chose the church to be the place where his presence was at, to be the place where his work is done, to be the place that changes the world. And I can tell you as a youth pastor, even my core kids, the kids that are sold out, they come twice a month. They got sports, they went to a dance, stayed out late, they got all this stuff going on, and church just drops down on the priority list. Hey, I don't care about filling our building, I don't care about like you've got to do this, you've got to do this. All I care about is I want people to come to Jesus and be in his presence. And I have to ask myself over and over again, why don't people come? Why don't people come? Oh, I don't have a ride. Get a ride. Oh, I don't have time. Anyway, I got some guys coming to Sky High Sports tonight. They got a swim meet. They're coming straight from the swim meet. I love when people show up and they're like in their sports equipment for church because they got a game right after. I love that stuff because that's like this guy right here in Mark 2. There's all these excuses, all these obstacles, all these peoples, all these ceilings that you got to bust through. And we just make excuses. I think one of the excuses is, I'm not sick. Just imagine this guy laying on the mat. I don't need Jesus. I'm good. I don't need nobody. And we don't want to admit it. And I'm hurting inside. I need God to touch my life. I need God to change me. We don't want to say that because we don't want to give authority to somebody else. We don't want to admit that we don't have it all together. But I'm telling you, if you're hurting, if you're searching, if you have a need, you're in good company because when you walk into a church, everyone is there. And that is who God is looking for. But I think the biggest reason is because we don't want to stop. Whatever we're hiding, whatever we're holding on to, we don't want to give that over. And so the church is the last place we want to go. Because this guy showed up to get healed from being paralyzed, and what does Jesus say? Son, your sins are forgiven.